Hello everyone. Today I wanted to tell you an inspiring story. An inspiring story, a real life story about Bobby Fischer, the former world chess champion. But it's more than that. It is a story where we all can find something inside us where we're good at. You know, it's about finding our strengths, our talents, and nurturing them. This is a video not only for where my area of interest is, for parents of children who have autism or ADHD or other conditions, or just any type of disability, or for adults who have any type of disability or autism like me, or ADHD like me. Not just for teachers, people working with these young people. It's for anyone. For sports people, if you have any hobbies or interests you want to be good at, or when you're looking what to do in your life, what to focus on, it's basically for everyone. So just listen to this story. And I will start briefly telling about the life of Bobby Fischer. So he was the world chess champion in 1960s. He was from the US. And he became the world chess champion very young, about 21. And that's a very interesting story here. And that's where you will see the connection between autism and other disabilities and ADHD. And then you see what I'm talking about. Because I see things differently, see? So the good things you can always find in the things that you think are bad. They're not. So you need to be really creative, have an open mind. And that the story of Bobby Fischer is going to help you understand these things. And it's not just his story, but then I'm going to tell you my story and my child's story and how I see things and how you can really find the best in person and then develop their talents, even where everything was at odds. It is believed that Bobby Fischer probably had autism. I firmly believe so. There were some clear symptoms. At the time, the diagnosis was not so, let's say, common, popular, well known in the 60s. But he learned to play chess quite early, when he was maybe 8. This was similar like me, I was 8. And as soon as he learned to play chess, he absolutely loved it. He was about 11 years old, because he had some behavioral problems. Like if you watch the film Pawn Sacrifice, you could see he was about 13, I think, in the film, or 11, where he was kind of aggressive to his mom, and very focused on chess, didn't want to be disturbed. He was very sensitive to noise. Mom was talking to the stepdad in the other room, and then he became really angry, and then just was shouting at the mom to just be quiet because she disturbs him training chess. You can already see few symptoms of autism in just that situation, that behavior. But unfortunately, I know that from experience with my child, that it can cause at times aggression, and then he could have been. He was sometimes, kind of aggressive as a child, but he was so extremely focused. He was so absolutely obsessed. It was an obsession. Chess was obsession for him. And at the age of 11, he was highly intelligent, but he was different. When he was 11, he dropped off school, and he wasn't in school for 2 years. His mom was never with his dad, so she was a single mother, although later she found a man. She really did great. It was a struggle for her, working and looking after Bobby Fischer, and who had quite difficult personality, I would say, had this obsession and talent for chess. Where I've lost my track. This is a common symptom of the ADHD. Your thoughts are scattered all over. Okay, so he was 11. He dropped off school. Wasn't in school for 2 years. So basically similar to my child, who also dropped off school and is not been in school so far for 2 years now. But we'll get to that later. See, another one where I lost my track. So and it was very difficult for them to find school for him. They couldn't find a school. He was not interested in going to school. He was not interested doing any subjects. School was a waste of time for him. That's what he used to say, because when he was at school, he was wasting his time, couldn't train chess. Finally, I think they found some private, like, type of a special school, or like gifted children's school, whatever you call it, a different type of school. After a long time, but still, you know, at this age, when he was like 10, 11, 12, 13, already was spending basically all day training chess, and he became a grandmaster quite a young age when he was a teenager. He early on, maybe 17, became the US champion, and then later was competing in the world championships. But before that, that's very interesting. It's very important, actually, you know, for all, I think, all parents of children, gifted children, I'll call them. They need to understand. So Bobby was not interested in school. He was highly intelligent. He didn't need really the school that much. But his area of interest, his obsession, his love, his everything was chess. So when he was a very young teenager, you know, he used to like train chess all the time. He met some friends, adult friends, who were happy to play with him, and then he was meeting in their houses and playing chess until midnight. So he was that young, like 13 or 14, and his mom said, okay, but you have to be home by midnight. So even though later he was in school, straight away after school he was going to this chess guy. I can't remember names, but this is a normal symptom, especially for me, of ADHD, where I don't remember like unnecessary details, and the names are not good for me. So he was going to this guy. They were playing chess, training chess, like all the time, after school, all afternoon, all evening, and then Bobby Fischer was really struggling to get home for midnight, you know. Later, but that's later, we're talking about late teenage years, 17, 18, and that. He was doing that until like 4 a.m. and coming home at 4 a.m., you know. That was when his mom already like moved out and he was living on his own, so he could do his chess obsession. Now, you can see how this ended up for him. Like, his mom really struggled, but she chose to support him at the end, because she saw where his love is, his interest is, his hobbies. Well, they didn't know anything about autism at the time, but this is normal for autism, and apparently for ADHD as well. You've got the hyper focus on things that you really love, and then to the complete ignorance of all other things, like especially mundane things, you know, cooking, cleaning, shopping, whatever, even brushing hair. So your brain is focused. This is how the brain works. So you need to understand that. And my brain works in an interesting way where I lose my track. And his mom supported him when he was like teenager, an older teenager, to play chess. She was helping him with PR and putting articles in the media, finding some money for him to go to Russia. Well, it was the Soviet Union then. We need to remember the times, why chess was so popular. You know, shame it's not like that now. I'm a chess player. I'm a chess champion, by the way. I forgot to introduce myself. Bevine. I'm a 3 times Polish chess champion in juniors, had bronze twice, been competing in juniors, world and European championships. So I've got like the chess master title, like in Poland, although I live in the UK now. I think of myself like a medium player now, I need to get better. After 15 years of break, when I was diagnosed with autism and a severe ADHD, I decided to go back to chess, and I was inspired by this diagnosis and by the fact that I was good in chess. And then apparently this condition helped me with this hyper focus on chess and also on winning, basically competing. With ADHD, you can be very competitive, so competitive sports are perfect for you, because they really excite you, where most things are really boring for you. So his mom, going back to Bobby Fischer now, his mom really supported him so he could compete all over the world, and especially the Soviet Union. And she did the right thing, I think, for him, because we see he has become very young age the world chess champion. This was his talent, his amazing talent. He was good at. This is what he's supposed to be doing, right? Not some other things. Say read literature books at school. What his life would become, because he had some serious mental health illnesses. Unfortunately, he really stopped playing chess straight after he became the world champion. Because I think it was OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, which often comes with autism. He wasn't diagnosed with autism, he was diagnosed with some paranoid illness, some fluffy, vague thing, like paranoia, because the OCD was so strong, it was kind of paranoid there. But that's what I think, it was just autism. A lot of sensory issues, like hearing issues, where he couldn't really play in a full room of people, because like the chess clock ticking, people whispering, chairs moving. It was really disturbing and annoying him, and you could see that in the film Pawn's Sacrifice. And that is a common sensory issue. So at the end, when he was playing in like top tournaments before he became chess champion world, then he had to play alone in the room, no spectators, no nobody. He just was so annoying. This is normal, this is common, but unfortunately at the time they didn't make the connections with him, what's going on with him. And then he had this what I think was just OCD, or the paranoia about the Soviets spying on him, which in some cases actually he was kind of correct, because that's what was happening, let's be honest. When chess during the Cold War, it was like a power struggle. It was political, highly political. Chess is being seen as like the kind of most intelligent game or something like this. So it was like power struggle, political struggle. And obviously there were spies involved and all this during this very important chess matches. Obviously, it's common sense. So he wasn't like completely paranoid. But I think also with him having undiagnosed autism, he was exposed to people and cameras, flash of cameras, and he liked to hide from it, which is another sensory issue. Common seen in autism or ADHD. And then those people, these interviews, the people, annoying people, people can be really annoying. You don't have to have autism to know that. When you have autism, it can be even more annoying. And so I'm not surprised that he wanted to hide, and he basically hid after he became the world chess champion. He appeared a few times. Most of the time he was hiding, and he had this OCD about the Soviets spying on him and having those different things. So it was unfortunately maybe unsupported autism, but that's not the case. I wanted to focus on what his mom did and how she supported him with what he was really good at. And that's what made him and made his name. Because if not chess, who would he become? Well, exactly. Maybe his mom would have to support him all his life, because due to his mental illnesses, to his sensoriness and the undiagnosed autism, and him not really getting too well with people, because he was often seen as rude, which sometimes people with autism can perceive the autistic ones like that, but that's because there's no understanding of how they communicate and what they like, what they don't like. That's another issue for another video, so subscribe to my channel, and then you'll learn a lot, but there's a lot to talk about. But now I want to talk about just that. And that story that recently I've listened to an audiobook about Bobby Fischer. I'm doing so better with audiobooks because I cannot even concentrate on reading books now anymore. That's the ADHD. It's so hard to concentrate on reading. The brain and the thoughts go all over the place. So listening to audiobooks when I'm doing that boring, mundane stuff, cooking, cleaning, all this stuff, it's really good. I'm learning quickly. That really struck me. You know what? It's because my story. I have been diagnosed with mild autism, or mild or almost no impairment caused by the autism, and a very severe ADHD, which shows often. Recently, only 2 months ago, I'm still 35, the young age of 35, and that was my shock. The ADHD was shock, because I couldn't understand what chess champion ADHD doesn't make sense. But actually I was explaining, yes, it does make sense. The hyperfocus, which I do have, can help you achieve whatever. It doesn't have to be chess, whatever, you know. So you ignore other things and you do the thing on that interests you. And so that's why I said sports, people who like sports or like really need to focus on the career, like do subscribe to my channel. You hear a lot, and that video is really for you too. And but also parents of children who have autism, ADHD, PANS, PANDAS. I really yeah, PANS, PANDAS is important, and I will say as well this is very relevant. And any disability. Because my child, I sometimes get confused because it is, which is common with autism, and he decided that he's she, so it's she, so my daughter. Really only showed autism when she was 10 years old. Before, nobody knew she has autism. She's highly intelligent, she's much more intelligent than me. We did genetic testing, that's what it shows. She's got superior intelligence, so I have like medium above average intelligence, so I do need to really sometimes understand her. And I learn from her how she says the word. So she was 10, but she didn't have only autism. She has what is diagnosed by NHS. So I just to be on the safe side, I used the official diagnosis, immune-mediated component, or immune-mediated neurobehavioral disorder, which basically means there was an inflammation affecting the brain. And then what it made her for like a year or so highly paranoid and psychotic. It was a shock, and only then autism showed. Nobody had a clue before that. So autism kind of came together with that illness. Some people call it PANS, so PANS PANDAS, which is a pediatric acute onset neuropsychiatric syndrome. But the more official in the UK diagnosis is immune mediated neurobehavioral disorder. And then my daughter, then my son, but now my daughter was like really psychotic. Honestly, I never seen anything like that in my entire life. So that was the brain inflammation doing this, and she got better, she got treatment. Obviously I had to fight, that's for another video, what I had to go through to fight for it and to get her better. It took a long time and took a lot of money, and took me as solicitors against the NHS as well. So go back on track, and then she changed completely then, and it's better now, but she's still changed, and now it's like moderate autistic symptoms. She has a disability, she needs my 24 hours care. She is not in school for 2 years so far, so since that sudden onset of the neuropsychiatric symptoms, which were triggered by infection, just common infections, you know, throat, sinusitis, infections that trigger that. And so basically, just focusing on the autism, not the health issues. And in this video, so her only interest is to play Roblox game. You may know. I'm not interested in that sort of games. So it's a Roblox game, not chess. She knows how to play chess. She got bored with it, and she, when she wants to play chess, she just gets bored. So she will like take the chessboard away and play imaginary chess, like on the table without the board, and then she will make her own moves and her own rules, and then she will throw the chess pieces all over the place. That's it. And that's some of the symptoms. So she plays that Roblox game, and basically like Bobby Fischer. That's what she would do only. She's not interested in doing anything at all whatsoever. Yes, we do go for walks because we have to for health. We eat, but then that's it. She'll play the game only when she eats, as well, like non-stop, many hours. And that's what she. If you take the game away, she's so frustrated. She's not interested in other things. This is her everything. But she set up recently. She just turned 12, and you know, this child with this like quite severe autism, not in school. Why not in school? Because they cannot find a school for her. There is no school for her, right? Even special needs school will refuse to accept her because she's such a unique child with those needs. They cannot cater for it. And she's got this complete selective mutism when she won't talk to anyone, like just to me and closest family member and her therapist. So she won't talk to anyone. She's got so many OCDs. Oh my pony, that's how she likes to say. because she believes everyone is a pony or unicorn, because unicorns are types of angels, and then she wants the word to be a good word, so she makes that up. So she lives in her fantasy world, and she's this disabled child, and it's so difficult. But then I saw, especially when I've listened to the Bobby Fischer story, that just struck me. She's like him, basically. The only thing, she's so good at the Roblox game, the games inside the games, and then recently she was the 17th in the world, and there are like hundreds of thousands people competing in this game, and she's doing so well. And then she said the top player in the world friend her and congratulated her on how well she plays, and subscribe to her YouTube channel, which is all about the game and some other issues, the channel. And so I'm talking to her as well, that, you know, because she worries about the future, what will happen to her in the future. And then I worry too. Yeah, you know, would not like her just to be on disability benefits all life and to struggle. She may improve and be able to like work somewhere, or be interested about doing anything, or like being within people. Maybe she will start talking. That's what I hope, because she is so talkative, like me, like you hear me now. She's so philosophical. She's so intelligent. She's amazing, but she just won't talk to people. Yeah. And so you know, there worries like what will happen, and I would not want her to like you know, be on disability benefits, and I'd like her to succeed in life, because she can succeed like me, right? I didn't know I have this autism and ADHD. I was CEO first time when I was 25. I've achieved a lot in my life, not just that the chess were earlier, and so I want to give her like, by doing this channel and this videos, want to give good example to people and give hope, but also go back to the main theme of this video. And I see this future, and I talk to her, and she's so happy, and she's so happy. The mommy is so understanding. So I did ask on some Facebook groups about this Roblox people, like how to make money out of Facebook. So, you know, you can do things like you design games and then you sell game passes. If it's popular, you can make a lot of money. You design other stuff for Roblox. I don't know anything about this. I'm not interested in this stuff, but you know, I had to be a little bit just to help her. And so I also want to get somebody for her to teach her like game design or other design, whatever that is, this IT design stuff. See, I don't know about that, because this is her strength. So she'll go to school one day. She can write, she can read, she is so intelligent, she understands the world, like, honestly, better than some of us. So I'm just thinking, like, just if she goes with the school thing, it might give her nothing, so she'll just do the basic curriculum, what it will give her. But if she trains in the things that she loves, she's interested in, and I want to nurture it. So it's about the same for you, for yourself. Say you have a disability, or you just don't have disability, you just want to excel in something, whether it's sports or career, whatever, or you have a child with this condition. So just understand that we all don't have to be the same. So you need to understand what is the strength of your child, what the hobbies are, and even if you are not interested in it and you don't understand, so what? You don't have to understand it, but just support your child. Okay? So you may have like private lessons for them, whether they're in school or not in school. The school, in my opinion, the school won't give a lot. I was at school, I was always the best pupil, and I graduated 2 universities in 3 different subjects. I can tell you, that's honest. I'm very honest, which is one of the symptoms of autism as well. That universities gave me nothing. They gave me nothing. They didn't even give me a good job. Most of the time when I graduated, I had to like hide from my CV that I have this uni degree, because that was like a barrier. Oh my god. And then I don't remember now, but maybe it's my ADHD, I don't know. I just don't remember most things I was even learning. Like, who cares? Like, I'm not interested in like historical dates and geography and stuff. I don't remember stuff. That might be ADHD. So this was all completely unnecessary. But you know, when I was at school, see, probably that's why I see these things this way. Some people might be shocked, like, what do you mean? Like, school is the most important thing? What are you even talking about, playing silly games? No. See, you need to start seeing things differently. This is how you can make a life different for yourself and your child. So you're not struggle and your child doesn't struggle, okay? When I was a kid, I was first time Polish, the national chess champion, when I was 10. And that came as a surprise. I didn't expect it. My parents sent me there with the other people from the club on the other side of Poland to play. I didn't make out of it, and I just won the tournament. And I suddenly became the Polish chess champion. I was like, whoa, what's going on? My dad was right, because my dad was telling me, I remember over the phone, the old-fashioned phones, no mobiles then, although I'm not that old. And then I was talking to him, I remember. This is an interesting thing. See, I was talking to him every day on the phone, because he's a chess player, but worse than me. I quickly, won with him and was better than him. It's like, what's the saying? The student outgrows the master, that sort of thing. And then I was playing, it was 11 days, I was playing there, and then I was talking to my dad after every day in the evening on these old-fashioned phones where you just have to do that, and in that hotel, and then he was saying to me, yeah, win that game and win another one, and then you will be first, you will have gold. And I thought he's crazy, but obviously I couldn't tell him that. But I thought I was like, what? What? That didn't fit my mind. I just went to play because I was sent there to play, and I probably had some fun, and that's it. And then last game came, I won that game, and I became first. And I remember I was in that hotel room on my own at the time, and I was so shocked. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, and I thought then, probably once only in my entire life, I thought, oh, my dad was right. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe, because at the time I couldn't believe, how you can even think of something like that you can become a champion. I didn't know how my dad had ideas like this. But then my life changed, because, when you become a champion, then every year you have to be a champion. If you become second the next year, it's like a loss. That was for me. The next year I became third at the bronze, and that was a disaster. That was bad, because it was expected from me that I will be the champion again, and I expected that as well. So yeah, and another thing, I become the chess champion, and then year after year, that's what it was. That was 2 minutes joy. Not even huge joy, you think jumping up and down, just nice, okay, fine. And then I had to prepare all year for another championships to be champion again. It's hard. But that's what was my life. So I'm hyper focused. Nobody knew I had autism or ADHD, but it came all well together, actually. But so because of that, I wasn't really almost at all at school. I mean, who cares about school? I didn't care about school. I was always the best pupil anyway. And I'm not bragging, it's true. Merit awards and stuff, from in the primary. But then in the past, chess tournaments would last 9 or 11 days. And then I was traveling all over the country, and sometimes other countries, for the chess tournaments, every month sometimes. So I wasn't almost at school at all. And I remember when I was coming back, and I wasn't there for 11 days, I had to write a lot of writing, this homework. Not homework, everything what was happening when I wasn't there at school, I had to write it down in this notebook. So I remember my mom was doing it for me, because that was so much. I missed so much. There was no time. My mom was writing my school notebooks. So then I can be up to date. And then later it was so much that we were just copying it so I was borrowing notebooks from other kids, and my mom was writing, I was writing, and we were copying, and I was gluing it to the notebook. And so I missed so much school, but so what? Now, what did it give me, that school? I don't remember a thing. I honestly do not remember anything. And well, hello, shocked, but no. So I have achieved a lot in my life, and I'm qualified naturopath, because I'm really interested in medicine and natural medicine as food. So when I talked earlier about the inflammatory component of my son's condition, I know a lot, but this is for other videos maybe sometime. There's a lot I've achieved. I've been CEO for the last 10 years. I have founded my charities. I got some awards, I got an award from the the Polish Senate. There are two chambers in Poland. There's the Senate, So I got an award for my work, for the Polish communities in the UK, and then I got some award in the British Parliament also for my charity work and stuff like that. So I did a lot, but then I only did what I wanted to do. So I don't remember anything from school. Maybe I remember a little bit from biology, but then that's probably because my interest is actually in health, so yeah. But the other stuff, no, and I'm so bad at maths, but that's another story. So, because chess is no maths actually. I think it's pattern. I'm very visual. I think it's the patterns, which is common in autism because it's like with the patterns, not seekers. So we see the patterns. They don't have to be visual. They can be concepts, like concepts in politics or healthcare or something. You know, the concepts, and I see them visually, so I see the patterns. So I can join them in my head. But just going back to that school. So I wasn't a lot in school. I didn't care much about school, you know, because my second life, it was chess. And then the school, you know, I was so terrible at maths. I think I've got dyscalculia, but I was always going through class to class late at the secondary school. Because all the teachers knew I was a chess champion. There was kind of like maybe quiet admiration or something. I don't know. I never had any trouble. It was okay, and there was never any bullying towards me from kids as well. I don't know what's happening right now with this bullying, but I cannot remember. Maybe I didn't notice, but I really cannot remember that I noticed any bullying in the school. In the past, that's how it was. So the kids were really well behaved, I think. I was the troubled teenager, but that's my ADHD probably. But that's just, let's leave it. So where I was about so my school didn't spend a lot of time. I didn't really care much. Same with studies. I was going to that university, but I was trying to avoid. I was only at the end going to that university only when I had to, when we were like forced, because otherwise you would not pass. There were lots of subjects, what you call them, lectures, where they didn't check if you are in or not. I never attended them. No, not interested. So when I was in university, I had my own passions, which were human rights, especially human rights in Tibet, and I did some campaigns and I did my stuff. And the university was on like tick box, like, all right, I'm there. And then only like for some subjects for the whole year, I didn't even see the lecturer at all. I didn't know what they look like. They never saw me, but they were not so tough on you have to come. They didn't check, so I didn't attend for the whole year the lectures, and then I only turned up for the exam, and obviously I had no clue about the exam, but then I still passed. Right, clever people do it, right? So that was my attitude, but I was still always slightly successful, but I did my thing, what I wanted to do, which is a very autistic and ADHD as well. But some people with ADHD, children, people, see, there's a lot of in the ADHD community where you like don't appreciate your gifts because you feel like you're somehow, yeah, there's impairment, like you're worse because you're not motivated, you're not good with remembering things, doing admin and cleaning, whatever. And then you feel worse, but then I see this as so good things. You just find them and then nurture them and then go according to them. And don't worry too much about the society things, because actually when you achieve, because you have gifts, you have strengths, you have got your hyper focus, you have your passions, you're going to be successful, and the society is going just to admire you, right? So if you're going to be the same as everyone, you're not going to have a lot of successes. You're not going to nurture your talent. So you're not going to be that successful. But when you are focusing on what you're good at, people are going to be admiring you, you're going to be happy, you're going to have success, you're going to have money. That's how it's going to be. So see the strengths in yourself, okay? And where I was back with my school. So that's how it was. So probably because of my experience, my attitude towards schooling, education, like doing what everyone does, yeah, it's like, okay, fine. But then especially a story of Bobby Fischer. And my daughter's story is the same. Like she can achieve so much. She can earn so much money. I was showing her recently, this email is coming with some like jobs. And then there's a Java developer that can earn 120,000 pounds a year for doing Java development for some companies. Like, wow. So, and I showed her that and she was so amazed. And so this is, I think, her way to go, the IT, this gaming design, whether she'll exactly choose. And that's what I want to help her. Yes, she'll have to go to school, fine. She'll have to go through the pain of the school and the wasting time of school, so she's then not developing and not like streaming games and not earning already money, or like not nurturing her talent, right? But she'll go through the pain knowing that she's got the support in doing what she's really good at. So in the past, she can probably earn more money than me, and she can work from home if she still struggles with the social aspect of life and like the social anxiety, not talking to people. She can do all this design stuff from home and earn really good money and have a good life and be like happy. So this is what I wanted to tell you about this in this video. And this is probably a different way of thinking, all right? Most people have. That firstly, you don't have to be the same as everyone. So when you have a child with autism and other similar conditions like that, like don't despair. They may have, like my daughter, a completely different view of the world. Yeah, my daughter lives in the unicorn world, but then I can see why. Because she's highly intelligent and she wants everyone to be good, and people are not that good, as we know. So just sometimes you cannot change things. Where you can change things and help them, then do it. Of course, where there is an accompanying medical condition that goes with autism, ADHD, or other, then it has to be treated, because it's unfair not to treat. So like OCDs and other disabling things, anxiety, they have to be treated, depression, whatever. But you can only help as much as you can, and then you're left with something you cannot change, so you have to accept it. So I also come with a Buddhist outlook. That's what I'm interested in. I'm listening for the last few months a little bit of like Buddhism philosophy, and I like it. It works so great, and I tell it to my daughter, who's got OCDs and eating disorder as well, which is so hard, and that kind of helps her as well. So when you cannot change things, you've got to accept them, because if you don't, then you live like in some delusion. So accept for what it is, and then life becomes so easy and peaceful. So if you cannot sometimes change things, there's a disability, or like the autism is so strong, then just don't despair. Just look at the child. Or if you have autism, ADHD, whatever condition, or if you don't have any, but you just want to do something with your life and you feel like you didn't do much, but you'd like to do that or that. So just look at it and see what you want to do, or your child wants to do, what they do all the time. If it's about the child, what they do non-stop. Maybe they watch comics non-stop, so maybe they can start designing comics, right? Like drawing, whatever. Or they maybe watch films non-stop because they have this thing. So just see what is there. So maybe they want to be filmmaker themselves. I don't know, just help them with whatever they're good at. Don't just leave it to school. Like, don't dump your child to school thinking the school is going to make them great. They're not. I'm sorry to say. The school is not going to make anyone great. The school is going just to make everyone the same without any achievements, to be honest. So the achievements are like in us, and so we need to develop them and nurture our talents. And first we need to understand what they are. So it's so easy with a child like that, even if the child is non-verbal, to see what they're interested in and to help them. And then sometimes you need to be serious about it. So like you need to invest some money. So they have like private classes. So you buy some equipment, whether it's like computer equipment or some programs, and be persistent, because they probably want to be persistent. If it's like they have autism, ADHD, they have this extreme hobby, they will be persistent for years. So they're going to so easily achieve things. So they can then be independent. And one of the most important thing with that as well is it's not even if they will not be making money in the future or will not achieve a lot, but just do what they love, is that they gain confidence. And then you need that confidence, especially in autism, ADHD, and disabilities, whether you need to be that confident. So I don't know why my autism was missed and ADHD was missed, although some of my friends could say, oh yeah, well, never shut up when I talk. I can give monologues for like 2 hours. I will not let anyone speak, and I'll talk about whatever is then my area of interest or like obsession. So my friends were not surprised when they learn about the diagnosis. They said I was always different. And where I was, forgot. Normal. See, but I just laugh at it. So what? You come back another time, there'll be another video. The confidence thing. It was so important. So as I told you the story, I was 10 years old. I suddenly became the posture streamer. I was thinking, what? Crazy. But then he gave me confidence because, the chess champion. I had some interviews. The teachers in the school, especially at maths, they couldn't understand. They stopped asking me to go to the board and then do maths calculations because I couldn't do it. I was always daydreaming. And then the maths teacher I was secondary school. He was always telling me that he cannot understand how I'm a chess champion. I don't understand maths, but he really wanted me to pass from year to year because I had to do those exams and I couldn't do those exams. I was so terrible. So he was so helpful, and I could go like 3 times. I had private maths tutoring. That didn't work. Nothing helped here. So basically, the winning in chess gave me a lot of confidence. What gave me confidence? Since I was a young kid, I was going with like the Polish representation to Brazil, to different European countries, to Cannes in France, playing in World Championship, European Championships, alone without parents. That gave me freedom, but I also learned a lot, and so gave me independence, but gave me the confidence. So if I wouldn't play chess, I don't know what will happen to me, honestly. I have no clue. If I were just like going to that boring school and do the schoolwork, and I didn't have any friends, like 2 classmates always, whether it's primary and secondary. I was not that open, but I can be like very, very open with like the best friend, and I won't shut up. And so that's the 2 mix of autism and ADHD. It kind of makes like almost a new condition. They're so opposing and different symptoms. That's so confusing. So then I wasn't diagnosed with anything, but because I was so good, but I gained this confidence, and I think the confidence gave me a lot in my life. So it gave me confidence to when I was an adult or like older teen to pursue what I wanted to do. I always believe it in myself. That's what I always believe. I believe that anyone can be anyone. Anyone can achieve anything you want. You can achieve it, right? So you just need to believe it. Coming back to that, if you support your child or yourself with nurturing your talents and your gifts, that is the thing that this child, it can be like my daughter. She was, I forgot to say that, I was going to say it and slipped my mind, started talking about something else. She was the most severe case last year. All the doctors, specialists, the best consultants in the country, the school, the head teacher school, the Senko ever seen. All GPs who saw her when she was so paranoid with the condition that was accompanying her autism. All the GPs, they said this is the same words I'm going to say that I've heard from few doctors, from the teachers, from the Senko, from all GPs who saw her. They said they never seen a child like that, never seen behavior like that. It was horrendous. Trust me. But then it got better. You got better because you fight for the medical treatment, and then also you accept your child as well, the differences. So then the behavior calms down as well. And then you just live in a nice unicorn world, right, together. So that's why I can't even remember why I'm talking about this now. But yeah, I was talking about the confidence. So So even if you have a child like that, the most severe case ever, then nobody saw such strong case. You don't know what to do, and you see such disabled child, and then you feel about the future. I think it's going to be like that forever now, and especially in this case. Then just look what the gifts are, the interest, and help them with that, because what you see, it's like the disability and the impairment. It can be actually the greatest gift, and you don't know until you help them with that, right? Same like with Bobby Fischer. It could be misconstrued the other way, like he's so incapable, can't be at school, such a rude boy and whatever. But no, it's such amazing gift. Like same with my daughter. We did this genetic testing, and she's so intelligent, like superior intelligence. So that one needs to be nurtured, because I believe she can be successful in whatever she doing, and that will help her with her confidence. So with her confidence, all the social anxiety that comes with autism, that's going to be done, helped, sorted. And and she needs that self-confidence. So for example, now she's at 17 when she does so well in her play, and then the others commend the top players and this. So I talk to her about that, and I congratulate her. She's so happy, and that increases her confidence. Like, who cares, she's not in school yet. They're working on that, you know, they'll be school. But that's already is increasing her confidence. So I'm already maybe doing much more than those parents who do nothing for the child for these gifts, and then they think that just the special needs school is going to be everything. No, you need to look at it differently. So yeah, I think that's it. That's what I wanted to say for today. Thank you very much for listening to that. Do subscribe to my channel. There'll be more videos, a lot of more videos, because what I'm going to do is a consultancy for people who are interested. It could be relationships, because many adults are not diagnosed, whether it's autism, ADHD, and then especially lots of ladies, they found that their partners, the adult partners have like autism. They're big relationships issues. So I'm here to help and do the coaching for you, ladies and gentlemen, or whether you have a child with these PANS, PANDAS, autism, other conditions, and you need some help, how to help your child, and you want to talk about it, yes, contact me. As well as about actually chess, and chess for people who have ADHD and autism and other neurodevelopmental conditions like sensory issues as well. If you need help with that, there's lots going on. There's going to be a lot of topics that are of interest here, as well as parents who struggle with the system. The system is a bit silly, you know, and then the system sometimes this misunderstands even the autistic children and then the parents. So especially if there are like cases of FII, which is like fabricated illness. I'm very passionate about that and helping parents with this. So yeah, just subscribe, just contact me. And be tuned in. Have a great day. Thank you.